This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Alyssa Orange, Pig Trail Nation, joining us on a Tuesday afternoon. Alyssa, how you doing today? What's new?
I'm doing good. Sitting outside doing some work. What's new? I don't know. Ole Miss week, that's new.
Yeah, that is new. You know, looking ahead.
Did your Dodgers make the playoffs? Who do they play?
They did. We played the winner of the Diamondbacks and the Brewers on Saturday.
You expecting anything this October? Or you think it's going to be a disappointing one? I'm not sure what they're going to do with their pitching.
I'm just happy to be here. No, I think that it's going to be a really tough test to get past Atlanta if they can get that far. Atlanta's just really good right now, playing some really good baseball. What's really cool is the Orioles being the number one seed over in the American League. That's just really special. My grandfather was a scout for the Orioles growing up, so I'm going to hope that they have some success too.
I feel like people say the same thing about Baltimore Orioles that they do sometimes about, like, Arkansas in football. It's good for the sport when they're good in that sport.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a good baseball.
Yeah.
Give me a thought on what you think Arkansas Ole Miss, since it is Ole Miss week, and you know Arkansas has had more success against this program than any other SEC program in recent history.
Yeah, and that's nice to put some weight on that. I watched them play LSU and beat LSU. And that's an offense that can move the ball quickly and move up and down the field, and so that makes you a little bit nervous if you're the Razorbacks right now. From an offensive standpoint, you look back 2 years ago and KJ Jefferson had one of his best games, even though they lost that game in Oxford, putting up over 400 yards of offense. I don't know if this offense can do that again, and so you just get a little bit nervous with this game, and anything can happen. But can Arkansas slow down Jackson Dart in that offense and actually be able to put points on the board to make it competitive? It's tough because this could get ugly and quickly if Arkansas is not able to stop them.
Alyssa, it was so good to see number 5 back running the ball and catching that screen pass and going. What do you expect from him going forward?
Yeah.
And is he healthy?
It was really good to see him. Except for, I think, he had maybe 37 total yards in that game, and that might have been the hardest 37 yards Rocket Sanders has ever had to get. You would have wished it would have been maybe an easier transition back into the lineup, but just nothing came easy on Saturday. I do think he's healthy. I think he is at a point where this is about, as healthy as he is going to get. Right, I don't think that they would have put him in if he was only at 90%. So I think Rocket is good to go. I just hope that offensively they can move some things. They said they were going to maybe make some changes on the line and make it a little easier for Rocket Sanders to have some success back there.
I guess there's two ways to look at what's going on the offensive line now. You never want to see these kind of changes 5 games into a season. You'd like to think that. And I think the coaches feel the same way. I mean, Sam said that yesterday. I mean, they played at these positions because we thought this is where they was going to work well, and apparently it had worked well enough, I guess, in spring and then preseason camp to keep them at those positions. But if it's not working, you got to see if something else works. So I like that they're tinkering with this. Maybe we see the same lineup on Saturday, but they're not just standing pat.
Exactly, and that's kind of what you want to see is something being done about the problem. Not that they weren't doing anything, but to be able to say, yes, we are now going to make some changes, because I know that how difficult that is in season. It's hard to make those adjustments when you only have a couple practices to figure it out, and they didn't do as much cross-training as they had done in the past this summer, because when Sam Pittman talked to us over the fall about during fall camp about the offensive line, he wanted guys who could just get plugged into a position that they're used to and not do all this cross-training where they're having, if one guy gets injured, they're having to move 3 other guys around. But it didn't work out. And so now you've got guys and adjustments being made, and hopefully they find some success. But it's not easy. and it's not seamless either. So, it's going to be interesting. So you make some changes and it doesn't work, people are still going to be mad. Or if you don't make any changes and nothing changes and people are still mad. So it's kind of a hard situation to be in, but at least they're trying different things.
Alyssa, I didn't think after, what was that, week 5, that we'd be saying, man, we just lost our true freshman All-American tight end, which I thought he could have been an All-American if he would have continued on this track. How do we replace him in the aggregate? Who do you look for to step up and kind of assume his role?
Yeah, that's tough. You hate that for sure. I think you have to look at Varkey's Gums. I know he got a couple of looks last week. Because of Luke Haas being out. Does he do anything? You have Francis Sherman, who transferred over. Could he do anything? And then you have Ty Washington, who we saw really good things from in the bowl game last year against Kansas. He's only a sophomore, but what does he bring to the table? So they do have those 3 options over there. None of them are Luke Haas. But can they come in? Because Gums and Sherman have played a lot of football at their old stomping grounds, and Ty Washington is a physical sophomore. So what can you get from those 3 to step up and possibly try to just at least supplement what Haas was giving the Razorbacks in that position?
What's your sense of the frustration level when you're watching Sam Pittman? Because it'd be one thing to lose 3 games in a row, but at his heart, he's an offensive line coach. And, just like everybody else is saying, well, you'd think at year 4 that the line is your strength. I would think that he would view it the exact same way. When you hear him talk or you're watching during the games, what sense of frustration level from the head coach are you feeling?
Yeah, I know that Sam is frustrated. He's not always someone who is going to vent and outwardly put those frustrations out loud necessarily. He is also someone who is going to have his coach's back. But you can kind of read it on his face that this is not where he thought he would be and the things that are going on. And there's some things going on that, injuries or issues or whatever may have you, that I don't think we know everything about what's going on with this offensive line. But you can tell that he's frustrated. You can tell that this isn't going the way that he thought it was going to go, and he's just trying to figure it out, while also still not throwing anyone under the bus and having his coach's back and taking, he's taking it all on his own shoulders. And that's a heavy weight to carry. It's the weight that you carry as a head coach. And so you can see it. You could see it on his face after the loss of Texas A&M. You could hear it in the post-game speeches. His whole team is tired of losing. And at some point, you got to do something about it. And maybe that frustration turns into anger a little bit. Like maybe the team just needs to be angry for a minute and take that anger out on Ole Miss and figure something out, because you can feel it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I have to ask about the state fair. Matt and I were kicking around rides and food from the other day. And in fact, I see Evan's video here. Matt, she went on the exact ride that I told you I would not go.
The Gravitron?
On. The slingshot. I will go on the Gravitron. There's a video of Alyssa and Evan on the slingshot. And then Evan is hugging the earth when he gets down. I don't know where Alyssa was. She was probably puking somewhere. How did you survive that ride after eating all those fried foods?
Well, first off, we did it first. So Evan manipulated the editing. We went on that first before he ate anything. So that's the good news. But it was awesome. I love thrill rides. That thing was cool. And, like, when you got up to the top, you could see the skyline of Dallas. Everything was lit up. Like, it looked great. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm falling. And then flip you around a couple of times. I mean, it's bench at 70 miles an hour. It was awesome. But I've always loved thrill rides. I grew up down the street from Kings Dominion in Virginia, and we had season passes. And it was like, how many roller coasters can I fit in 6 hours? It was awesome.
So when you go to one of these events with Sawyer, is he also a thrill ride guy? Because sometimes the couples don't necessarily go on rides together.
Sure, yeah, no, he'll go on he'll go on roller coasters with me, absolutely. We were in Los Angeles in 2017, and I was pregnant. I was about 3 months pregnant with Finn now. And we went to Disneyland and then whatever they have across the way. But we realized the best approach for couples is get in the single rider line. I don't have to ride beside you. We can just get to this line really quick. So we were roller coaster hopping all over the place.
Sounds like a heck of a lot of fun. Your
So fun.
Dolphins, I did not see them losing to the Bills, but I think it's pretty obvious right now who the two best teams in that division are, and can't wait to see them go at it again.
Yeah, a couple things. One, I'm glad that the game at the end of the year is in Miami in December. And two, I don't think anyone was beating the Bills on Sunday, even if it was the Dolphins. They played so well. Josh Allen was just dialed in. It was DeMar Hamlin was getting his first start of the year, coming back from what happened last year. I mean, just everything lined up for the Bills. And it looked good early, but they couldn't stop them. And so I was impressed with the way that the Bills played. They were not the Bills who opened up week 1 with 3 turnovers at all. And so I tip my cap to them. I still think the Dolphins are a very good football team, and making that game at the end of the year even more exciting. They're still fun to watch.
Yeah, y'all get the punching bag the New York Giants next week, so y'all will be all right.
Yeah, I think we're going to be okay. It's been fun. How are you guys feeling about all this Taylor Swift stuff?
I mean, what's wrong with it? Maybe the coverage of the games is a little different because she's there, but what's wrong with it? It's two immovable forces that are colliding together: the NFL and Taylor Swift.
And is it real, or is it just about money and clicks?
You know what? It's still fun. Regardless of what it is, it's fun. You know, I mean, it's fun. I like Taylor Swift. I don't know if I'd classify myself as a Swiftie. I'm not obsessed like Courtney Mims is. But I like Taylor Swift, and I like football, and I think it's fun.
Look, Alyssa,
I'm enjoying it.
Alyssa, I'm no Swiftie, but do we really think Taylor Swift needs the NFL or Travis Kelce to get attention or to get clicks? Like, have you seen? She sells out NFL stadiums that won't sell out NFL games.
On her own.
Yes, with more tickets.
I know. I know. And so, no, she doesn't. And so, no, she does not do this for her own publicity. I don't think her and Travis Kelce sat down and said, hey, I need more publicity. Will you help me out in this deal? You know, will the relationship work? I don't know. We all know Taylor and her relationships haven't always worked out. But eventually there is going to be one that will. And maybe it's this one. She's never dated an athlete before. Maybe that's what she needed. Who knows? But for right now, I'm enjoying it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.